Your dreams do not come true every day. Of course, Chad and Abigail from Days of Our Lives wouldn't be familiar with it. Their ideal fantasies came to an end with her death, and it's unlikely to occur for Colin or his older sister Sloane. They are likely to never get the retaliation they so desperately want. But what ties all four characters together is what happened to Julie Dove, the actress who portrays Connie in the Peacock Sudzer episode on May 4. Salem Startings. This is a feel-good story in a time when it feels like we don't get enough of those, so we'll warn you up front. However, it does have a somewhat tragic beginning. You see, ever since her father passed away when she was 13 years old, Dove has been a longtime fan of Days of Our Lives. When her father passed away unexpectedly at the age of 38, soap operas gave her a fantasy world to retreat to, and she couldn't get enough of them. She tells Soaps.com, "I was extremely captivated with the love stories and the idea of the ideal couple. Will I locate my Beau Brady? Will I be able to locate my General Hospital Luke Spencer? Will I be able to track down my Steve from As the World Turns?" She devoured every soap opera magazine she could find and watched all she could until one day she caught a glimpse of a recap of Hope's 18th birthday celebration on Days of Our Lives. Dove had to begin watching her and Beau's love story since it was so captivating. She was hooked almost immediately. She even purchased her first VCR to videotape Beau and Hope's wedding. Well, it was a Betamax because that was all she could afford as a youngster. Dove wrote to actors all over the country because her love of soap operas inspired her to dream of becoming an actress and growing up to be Hope. Some others replied, including Lauren Murray Taylor, Lauren, of Loving. The actress even sent Dove home with an outfit worn by Loving's Lorna, who at the time was portrayed by a young Susan Walters, and invited Dove and her sister up to New York to see the show and hang out, whose return as Deanne on The Young and the Restless is well known. Dove didn't actually decide she wanted to be an actor until she was in her 30s and came to Los Angeles. She began booking programs like The Office, Angie Tribeca, and Criminal Minds. At the moment, she is providing the voice of Jessica for Birdrill on Adult Swim. However, soap operas were the ones that got everything started, and in November 2021, she finally landed her dream job on Days of Our Lives. Chabby involvement. Although Dove admits, "I never post when I'm going to be on TV," Days of Our Lives was just too wonderful for her to keep to herself. "It was the evening before I realized I needed to be on. I published this on social media. I waited until after midnight. My fantasy has come true, I thought. This was the best thing ever." Numerous residents of her hometown commented and congratulated her, but then her scene wasn't broadcast. However, Dove continued to reveal some behind-the-scenes information, and eventually head writer Ron Carlivati became interested in it. He shared her deleted scene on Days of Our Lives' official YouTube account because he loved her tale. Dove describes filming the crucial sequence with Chad and Abigail as wonderful. Before filming, Billy Flynn and Marcy Miller even offered to run through it with her a few times. "There was a lot of pressure since I needed to slam Billy with coffee. Actually, there was no other possible perspective. Therefore, if you carefully study the video, you may notice my hand trembling a little. Hey, let's just blame method acting for that. Connie was rather angry, hence, it makes sense." However, Dove was an expert, so she balanced herself with her other hand, turned around, and threw the coffee. For a second chance to see Chad and Abby that you missed the first time around, check her out here as the very opinionated Connie. But Dove's Days of Our Lives narrative was far from over at that point. "The most amazing thing, according to Dove, was that after I shot the first scene, it was cut. But rather than putting an end to her dreams, it just strengthened them." She said to a pal, "You know what? I'll be there once more. Beau and Hope are going to return, and I'm going to be on it." Second act. And indeed, that is what took place. Carlivati made the decision that this time, Connie's scene would not be omitted because Dove was returning and bringing her along. It just so happened that Beau and Hope were coming back at the same time. She didn't spend a lot of time with Peter Reckel and Christian Alfonso, but even though she wasn't initially aware of it, she did run across both of the actors who first made her fall in love with Days of Our Lives all those years ago. It comes out that Dove sat down next to Reckel while he ran his lines, with his hair so short. I initially had no idea it was him. She nearly pinched herself for missing the opportunity to introduce herself as he was called to the stage. She ran into Alfonso in one of the wardrobe rooms, and they spoke briefly. Dove laughs, I wanted to be like, I met you when I was 13, but I kept it to myself. With regard to her scene with Jasper Newman, she didn't simply film with him on his first day on the show. She later discovered that it was also his very first scene. That was a huge honor, she says. Marnie Seta, the casting director, had even informed Newman of everything. He approached me and said, "Oh, I'm Jasper. Marnie told me everything about you and your background." He then hugged me tightly. She continues, laughing, Jasper is such a lovely actor. I'll just say that whatever I needed to portray in the scene came out of me pretty naturally. Also excellent was Jessica Surfety, Sloane. Everyone was simply extremely courteous and professional. On every set, not everyone behaves that way. Dove wants everyone she worked with to be aware of that. I'd like to thank everyone I met during the show. We have exchanged Instagram messages with Marnie and Ron. I met Albert Alar, the co-executive producer. He's incredible. I haven't had the opportunity to meet executive producer Ken Corday, but I just wanted to say thank you for the show and for being you. She also takes care to thank the director in particular. I simply forgot to thank Noel Maxam because I was so preoccupied with the thought, I have to make this the best ever so that I may come back again. Working with him was fun. So it was just truly a blast. I just appreciate them so much, the speaker said of those who made this possible. I simply adore the program, and I'm thrilled that it has been renewed to reach the 60-year milestone, and she's hopefully looking forward to Connie popping up. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our channel, Daily Bulletin News, and stay with us.